Hello, welcome back. I'm Aravind, and we're going to get started with the third module of this learning path, where we manage Microsoft 365 Copilot. We're going to cover the following areas. We will learn how to manage Microsoft 365 Copilot web access and its general settings, manage Copilot for MS Teams, meetings, and events, understand MS Purview data protection, monitor the value of Microsoft 365 Copilot through the Copilot dashboard. We'll also track Microsoft 365 Copilot readiness and usage across your organization. And finally, learn how to delete your Microsoft Copilot interaction history. You can manage how users in your organization interact with Microsoft 365 Copilot by using the Settings tab on the Copilot page in M365 Admin Center. It supports the following settings: Copilot for Microsoft 365 feedback logs. This is where users can submit feedback logs on behalf of others when they encounter issues and cannot send feedback logs themselves. Copilot for sales. This is an AI assistant designed to boost productivity and help sellers close more deals. Copilot in Bing, Microsoft Edge, and Windows. Data security and compliance. This links to Microsoft Purview Compliance Portal for managing sensitivity labels, retention policies, Copilot interactions, audit records, and configuration of interactions with protected documents. Improved responses with web content in Microsoft 365 Copilot settings. This allows enabling or disabling Copilot's access to public web content for the latest information and responses. Microsoft Security Copilot. This links to Microsoft Security Copilot portal for managing settings.
So let's take a look at how we can configure Copilot through its settings. So to do that, within the Microsoft 365 Admin Center, we're going to go to the Copilot page. And once we get into the Copilot page, you'll notice that there's a Settings tab. We can click into that. And here you can change a host of settings. You are able to change, for example, the ability for you to pin Microsoft Copilot to a navigation bar. You can turn on, for example, web-grounded content for Copilot for M365. You can take a look at some data security and compliance settings. Copilot team settings will take you to the Teams meeting page where you can turn on and off certain settings. And then you can also take a look at the different details around Copilot in Bing, Edge, and Windows. That's a brief overview of Copilot settings in Microsoft 365 Admin Center.
Web grounding allows Microsoft Copilot to reference web content and improve its response by grounding it with the latest information from the web. There are two distinct controls to manage the grounding process. IT administrators control a privacy setting for optional connected experiences, which allows IT admins to enable or disable web grounding. The other control can be toggled by the end users, which allows for the user to decide whether they want real-time web content in Microsoft 365. Keep in mind that Security Copilot is a separate product and license from the Microsoft 365 Copilot. Let's take a look at a quick demo. In order to manage your web access for Copilot, you can enable this setting within Microsoft 365 Admin Center. The first thing you want to do is go to Settings, go to Search and Intelligence, go to Configurations, and you can go and look for the option Improved Responses with Web Content in Copilot for M365. You can change that
and allow Copilot to improve your responses with web content. You can save that. This enables it for the entire organization. Just keep that in mind. If you do want to do this locally, you can also do this within Microsoft 365. By going to BizChat, clicking on plugins, and adding the web content capability.
Microsoft 365 Copilot in Teams meetings and events can capture important conversations, and admins can manage how users in your organization use Copilot in Teams. Participants and organizers can learn things like who said what and where people agree or disagree. Microsoft 365 Copilot in Teams can also recommend follow-up tasks, all in real time during a meeting. Organizers, co-organizers, and presenters can use Copilot during town hall events. As an admin, you can manage how users in your organization use Copilot in Teams meetings and events. You can manage your transcription policy using the recording and transcription section in the Teams Admin Center. Various options are available, including enabling or disabling transcription during the meeting or after it ends. This flexibility allows for different combinations of settings to suit organizational needs and compliance requirements. Some organizations may want to disable transcriptions and only have the capability for some users. And sometimes transcriptions can be turned off for the whole organization. Admins can employ sensitivity labels to protect data, showing the sensitivity of data when files are opened in Office apps, and only returns data to users with the necessary permissions, extending this protection to data stored outside of the Microsoft 365 tenant. The protection extends to data stored outside your M365 tenant. Several recommended Microsoft Purview capabilities for strengthening data security and compliance are available, including sensitivity labels, data classification, customer key, communication compliance, auditing, content search, e-discovery, and customer lockbox. These measures are crucial for maintaining data security and compliance in AI applications. We need to have a comprehensive understanding of the Microsoft Purview AI Hub. Microsoft Purview AI Hub is a centralized platform for managing and governing AI models and applications. It ensures AI developments are secure, compliant, and effective according to industry standards. It provides graphical tools and reports for insights into AI use. The AI Hub helps secure data and AI apps and monitor AI use. It offers capabilities for balancing productivity and protection, insights into analytics into AI activity as well. It has ready-to-use policies for data protection and loss prevention, compliance controls for optimal data handling and storing. The AI Hub provides pre-configured policies for quick insights and data protection. It requires 24 hours for new policies to collect and display results. Some steps to get started are: use the Microsoft Purview portal or compliance portal. Ensure the account has appropriate permissions for compliance. Microsoft Entra Compliance Administrator Group rule is required.
So if you want to secure your data, make sure you're using Microsoft AI Hub. To do that, you got to be in the Purview portal. And once you're in the Purview portal, make sure to click on AI Hub. And then you'll notice that there's 3 tabs. There's the Analytics tab, the Policies tab, and the Activity Explorer tab. On the Analytics page, you'll get to see all the different recommendations that Copilot that you can apply to your Copilot, and you'll see the data and analytics for the number of interactions and visits to your Copilot. And you can also see the number of unethical AI interactions. So it's a one-stop shop for most of your interactions at scale. And you can also see things like how many sensitive interactions you had and the level of threat by category as well. You'll also notice that there's a policies tab. So the policies tab allows you to take a look at the different policies you can apply to Copilot, so you're more compliant. And you can go and essentially create these policies and apply them to your Copilot so you're more likely to be compliant. And lastly, you can also go to Activity Explorer and take a look at all the different types of interactions, right? So you can get really granular and take a look at the different interactions or the unethical interactions that happened at the user level. You can take a look at the different fields here. You can see that you have a timestamp, what sensitive info was shared, and what files were referenced. So all of this can be done here.
The Copilot dashboard provides actionable insights to help organizations deploy AI effectively. It offers metrics related to readiness, adoption, impact, and learning. Some key metrics to look at are adoption rate. You can see how much of your organization is using Copilot. The benefits are that it helps measure the effectiveness of Copilot. It supports the transformation of your workplace behavior through data-driven insights. You can see how effective your organization is with the tool and how many people are using it out of the total number of licenses you have provided. This information can be invaluable in your goal to make Copilot used far and wide within your organization. It is crucial for admins to monitor readiness and the usage of M365 Copilot. There are two reports that can help you out. The Microsoft 365 Copilot Readiness Report, which allows you to view which users are eligible for Copilot. It can track and assign Copilot licenses, monitor usage of M365 apps that integrate with Copilot. It allows you to review system recommendations to prepare for Copilot, export data into Excel, CSV files, detailing user engagement in Teams meetings, chat, and Outlook email over the past 30 days. The Microsoft 365 Copilot Usage Report is a summary of user adoption, retention, and engagement with Copilot. Charts displays information like number of enabled users with Copilot licenses, number of active users, and active user rates. It also provides daily time trend of Copilot usage in productivity apps. Administrators can use communication compliance policies to analyze prompts and responses entered into Microsoft Copilot and M365 Copilot. These policies detect inappropriate or risky prompts and the sharing of confidential information. Users with Communication Compliance Admins role can create these policies in Microsoft Purview Compliance Portal. Communication compliance policies define which communications and users are subject to review in the organization. It allows you to specify custom conditions the communications must meet, determine who should conduct the reviews. You can also use policy templates such as Detect Microsoft 365 Copilot and Microsoft Copilot Interactions template. Within the Detect Microsoft 365 Copilot and Microsoft Copilot Interactions template, it scans interactions for sensitive information types, keywords, trainable classifiers, and content safety classifiers for teams based on large language models. In general, admins should be cautious creating a policy to review all Copilot interactions. Depending on the size of your organization, a policy that detects all Copilot interactions might result in a high volume of detected messages, which could lead your organization to reach its storage limit. Let's take a look at a quick demo.
Admins usually want to be able to analyze interactions and see if there's any inappropriate or risky interactions, especially if there's confidential information that was leaked or shared. In order to do anything about this, you need to set up compliance policies. And to do that, you have to go to Solutions within the Microsoft Purview portal, go to Communication Compliance. There, you'll see that you're in the Overview page by default. And here you'll see that there are some policies that can be created based on some observations made. You can go to the Policies page and you can take a look at the different types of policies you can set up. So one of the policies we would set up is to take a look at the Microsoft 365 interactions. And once you click on that, this pane opens up and you can name your policy. You can set the scope of the policy for all users or select users, which is totally up to you. You can set up a reviewer to find the users. And you can also detect certain types of sensitive data. So I am just going to pick a few. You have up to 30 different data types that you can choose. And then you can also add classifiers to detect inappropriate content. Once you're done, you can create a policy. And there is a checker to make sure everything was done properly. So you can go ahead and see, I did not fill out the reviewer. So I can go add a reviewer. And now the policy should have been created. And it can take up to an hour to activate the policy.
Copilot interaction history records prompts and responses from Microsoft 365 Copilot users. Administrators must manage and delete this history to ensure privacy and security. Managing interaction history helps you in the following areas. Data privacy means protecting sensitive information by ensuring it isn't retained longer than necessary. Compliance, adherence to organizational and legal requirements for data retention and deletion. Security, reducing the risk of data breaches by regularly purging unnecessary data. When deleting the interaction history, you should select the administrative setting to delete interaction history, which sends a deletion request to Microsoft. It may take some time to fully delete the history. If the app is open when the deletion is set, the previous interactions may still be visible until the app is closed. Upon reopening the app, the interaction history will be cleared and users will start fresh with no previous interactions displayed. During the deletion process, when you select the Microsoft 365 Copilot checkbox, your Copilot interaction history will be deleted from all those apps. This option doesn't allow you to delete interaction history from selected apps such as Word and PowerPoint. Interaction history is deleted from all apps. There are 5 simulated lab exercises you can work on to get some hands-on experience. Let's take a look at this in a quick video.
So when you want to find the simulations related to this course, you can find it on the MS 4017 page. Click on that link. And all the simulations are going to be in the second learning path, the Manage Microsoft 365 Copilot Administration learning path. And then you're going to go to the last module to find all the simulations. So let's click on this. And it's not going to be in every single page within each module, within this module. You're going to find one here. You can just quickly Control F search it, and you can find that there's a simulation. All you have to do is click on that simulation and you get access to it. And you can follow the instructions here below, and you should be able to get a hands-on experience. So let me just take you through and show you the other pages that have simulations. The Manage Web Access for Microsoft 365 has a simulation. It's all the way, usually it's all the way towards the bottom. Right here. The Manage Copilot for Microsoft Teams meetings and events page also has a simulation. In the interest of time, I'm just going to show you like this with Control F, but you can find that there's a simulation that you can launch. The Explore Microsoft Purview data protections for AI apps does not have it, but the secure data for AI apps does have, the Microsoft Purview AI Hub does have it. So you can find that there. These Copilot Readiness and Copilot Dashboard pages don't have it. And the last simulation you can find is in the Copilot Interactions using a communication compliance policy page. That also has a simulation, and that's the last simulation that you can access. Hopefully that helps.
We went over quite a bit in this module. We covered how to manage Microsoft 365 Copilot settings, web access for Microsoft 365 Copilot, managing MS Teams and events. We also learned how to monitor the usage of M365 Copilot through the Copilot dashboard, as well as how to monitor Microsoft 365 Copilot interactions. See you in the next module.